Pranams. Welcome to Joyful Vedanta. I am Ranga, and in my many years of experience as a corporate trainer in the domains of leadership, general management, visioning, strategy, entrepreneurship, I've had the privilege and honor of interacting with very huge corporations in India and abroad. What I have seen as some of the very basic and core requirements of organizations and some of the challenges that face them, I thought I should offer something tangible in this spectrum. Please permit me to share a small presentation. The total time I would require would be around 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for waiting. The core expectations of a corporate house are 4 or 5. This is my understanding. First and foremost, I think we exist to make good profits and deploy it for the benefit of the world. So the first requirements is ROI, consistently maintained or increasing levels of profits. The second expectation or the requirement of a corporate house is there has to be growth. Stagnation is out of question. And the growth has to be consistent, preferably exponential. The third expectation is the conditions under which this growth happens is a very empowering culture and people wanting to stay back with us, right? Which brings us to the next expectation of a very high rate of employee retention. The culture triggering employee retention. We all need accolades. We all need recognition. We all need to be the benchmark that someone else will emulate. So there is a lot of requirement around the recognition domain. And last but not least, it's not that we want growth alone, and the growth has to be directed towards accomplishment of our set mission and vision. Right? That's very important. So if you look at these 6 core requirements of an organization, typical organization in various industries, domains, I also felt that I culled out some common challenges. The first one being the level of ambitions and aspirations in people inside the organization is widely varied. There are many people who look at the job as just a mere transaction to be done, and they just do minimum. Right? But if everyone in the organization or majority of the people in the organization have very high ambitions, then the organization can reach greater heights. So the first challenge that we face is diluted ambitions. The second challenge that we face is somewhere a lot of people in their different roles at different levels make compromises. Right? That means either compromises on quality or compromises on certain values, right? Or compromises on certain communication. Compromises become a very important challenge. The third challenge is human beings being human beings. Somewhere it's not possible for a person to just reach by their own growth. They also try to pull someone else down. And at some point in time, at certain levels, the politics play a very important role, and which is driven by unhealthy competitions. There is a lot of personal biases that kind of stem in, right? Be it in appraisals, be it in recruitment, right? How much ever we may say fairness, right? Biases are human nature. And when this crosses certain limits, it leads to certain issues in diversity, which is today a very big topic by itself. One of the big challenges that organization faces is Gen Z management, right? Because the people who are coming into an organization, who are junior, relatively younger generation, the youth, have a completely different way to look at life. And there's a huge gap between the seniors and the Gen Z people, and so managing them become a very huge issue. Of course, there is so much competition, but I think work-life balance become a huge issue. Right? Politics, as I mentioned earlier, which leads to unhealthy competition. Now, how do we handle these challenges and drive ourselves to greatness? After working with corporates, when I had a lot of exposure to Vedanta and exposure to our scriptures, I found that the solutions are not outside, the solutions have to be looked inward. It's basically an inward journey, and that too an inward journey of an individual, right? An organization is just a collation of people, right? So if an individual is transformed and every individual is transformed, we find that they come back and transform the organization, right? Which means we need to have a solid grounding in not just IQ and EQ. I think we also need to have a solid grounding in spiritual quotient, which is far, far different from religion, where we start to look inward and become authentic and create a climate of authenticity. And that change an individual undergoes can come back and change the organization. So after many years of this experience and exposure to our scriptures, I thought we as a group wanted to put up a module, specific module focused on developing the individual, right? Which means we have focused this module on self-growth, which talks about 7 specific domains. The first domain is freedom, then relationships, emotions, wealth, objectivity in decision making, resilience and ability to face failures and stand up, and of course, no compromises on ethics. Now, these modules are intended towards the individual, and those individuals who are transformed can come back and transform the organization. So the specific request I have for you is kindly support us in this course, because I have put in all my years of experience in both corporate training and in the scriptures and Vedanta, and created this module. This will be 12 plus modules, 90 minutes of online session, first and third Fridays of every month. Nominate your individuals, and you could make it as a reward for whatever they deserve to get within the organization. Reach out to us, and we'll be very, very happy to support you in this cause. And thank you so much for your patient listening. Wishing you all the best. And please allow us to partner you in your journey of exponential growth. Pranams. Namaskar.